Hello students, now today we are going to start a new chapter, congruency of triangles, and this is chapter number 7. Now this is all about congruency. Now before we get on with the exercise, we need to first understand what is a congruent first. Okay, so let me give you the definition of congruent, and normally this term is used in the section of geometry in mathematics. Fine, so we'll start our definition as in geometry, two figures. Now it's not mandatory that we can only compare the two figures. There could be 3 figures also, 4 figures also, fine, 5 figures also, but normally when we are writing a definition, we compare any 2 objects. Okay, it doesn't mean that only 2 figures are congruent. It could be 4 figures also, 3 figures also, it depends. Okay, but normally in definition we write 2 figures. Or object, figure or object, because object has also some definite shapes and size. Okay, so objects are congruent if they have same shape and size okay, or you can say both the figures or the objects are mirror image to each other. Fine, this is also the way you can remember what is the congruent figures. Fine, so let me just give you one examples that which are the objects you can say that in their day-to-day life are congruent to each other. The first thing, you can go for chocolates. You see this, which is one of my most favorite thing, chocolates, and I believe it is also a favorite of yours also. So chocolates, you see, normally if you're going for the same brand, that is a Dairy Milk, you will find that the shape and size are all similar to each other, isn't it? So in that way, if the brand is same, you will find that they are equal in size and shape. Now it also goes same for pens also. You see, pen. So if you are using a same brand of pen, you will find that even the shape, the size are all equal, isn't it? So they are all congruent objects. So these are the day-to-day life congruent objects. Fine. So I hope that you have understood the basic concept of congruent. Okay, now it's time to get on with the exercise now. So let's see what is there in question number 1 of exercise 7.1. We have some fill in the blanks. Fine, fill in the blanks. So complete the following statement. Now number A, what we have? Number A, we have 2 line segments are congruent. Okay, fine. So 2 line segments. Line segment, students. I hope you remember what is line segment. Yes, this is line segment. The line which has one starting point also and end point also is called a line segment. So the 2 line segments are congruent when, on what condition you can say that the 2 line segment is congruent. Now that would be what? If, now let me give the answer in different color. If they have the same length. If they have the same length. Okay, so then only we can say that the 2 line segments would be congruent to each other. So this red part is the answer. Okay, now let's move on to sum number B. Now in sum number B, we have among the 2 congruent angles. Fine, so 2 congruent angles are given. So 2 congruent angles are given. So 2 congruent angles are given. So one measures 70 degree. Fine, one measures 70 degree. These are the information given in the question, and at the last part of the question they have asked, they are demanding something. That is, what are the 2 information they have given? First of all, they have said that 2 angles are congruent. Why? So we know that what is a congruent, whether it is an object or whether it is a shape, anything. Fine, whether it is an angle also. So whenever we say anything congruent, that means it has to be equal. The first thing that it should come to your mind that they are equal to each other. They have a mirror image, isn't it? So when we are talking about an angle, so that means it's quite obvious that the angle should be equal to each other. So if one angle measures 70 degree, so obviously they have asked the value of the other angle. So the measure of other angle will be what? So the measure of other angle is obviously what? Obviously 70 degree only, isn't it? 70 degree. So this is the answer of the second one. Now let's move on to sum number C. Yes, sum number C. So what we write, sorry. Let me write this with, yes. So when we write, so in the third part, when we write angle A equals to angle B. So what does it mean? What does it mean? It means that the value of those two angles are equal to each other, isn't it? So you can write in the language, it means that the value of both the angles are equal to each other. But there is another way to express your answer. That means that when we write, so when we write angle A is equals to angle B, we actually mean this. Just a minute, we actually mean this, students. Measure of angle A is equals to measure of angle B. Okay, this is what we are trying to mean. Okay, so this is the solution of all the sums of question number 1. Now let's move on to sum number 2, which would be the last question of this session. Now what is there in question number 2? Oh, we have to give any two real life examples. Now I've already given this. So give two real examples. So number 1 would be what? Chocolates. You can give chocolates. So chocolate, and number 2, write it pen. So I guess these are the two real life examples that you can give. Fine. So I hope everyone has understood this chapter, and this chapter is very, very important, students, for your upcoming classes. Class 8 also, 9 also, 10 also, very, very important. Okay. So that's it for today's session. Thank you all of you. Take care. God bless you all.